Welcome back to another episode of the Adventure Bus Build. In this series, we are turning an old mini school bus into the ultimate adventure vehicle, camper, tow rig thing. In this episode, we are doing one of the most exciting things. We are finishing the electrical system inside the interior. In the last episode, we mounted the deep cycle batteries, which will power the entire thing. We also mounted the power inverter, which converts 12-volt DC electricity to 120-volt AC electricity. In this episode, we have to finish that system by running the 120-volt wiring and mounting the wall plugs. We are also going to have to mount and wire the charger converter, which charges the deep cycle batteries when it is connected to shore power. Pretty much what that means, we can plug in the bus to just a wall outlet and it will charge the bus. Lastly, we have to mount and wire the battery isolator. That will allow the truck battery, which runs the engine, to charge the RV batteries, which runs all the appliances when the truck is running. So pretty much the meaty alternator on this 6-liter diesel will charge the RV batteries. But then when you turn off the engine, it dislocates that wire so you don't drain the starting batteries for the truck. Maybe a little confusing, but it's super easy and simple to wire up. So at the end of this video, we're gonna have an electrical system that is completely done besides solar panels. We're gonna be able to plug stuff in. We're gonna be able to use appliances in the bus. We're gonna be able to charge our phones. We're gonna be able to listen to music. It's gonna be really cool, and this is why I'm super excited. This step is gonna change this thing from being a bus with stuff inside it to an actual RV. So let's go ahead and get started by running those wires for the wall plugs. So this electrical box is all wired up. The wiring is ran, but obviously nothing's been tidied up yet. We're gonna go ahead and test it. The moment of truth. I either die from electrocution or this works. It works! Hey. Look at that. We're charging. I could plug the drill into it. That would be one way to test to see how much power we got.
Send it, just for a second.
You send it? Yeah. We're gonna test the drill.
You can see your wattage go.
Does it?
Yeah, watch.
Oh, yeah. 290. Yeah, it works. I mean, it dims the lights, but hey, that's being powered off of RV batteries. Cool. All right, so all of the wiring is done. Everything is going into these two cords going into the inverter. So we're gonna go ahead and test it. I'm gonna try charging my phone. Hopefully it says it's fast charging. I'm gonna try plugging in the fridge. This is when we either all burn down or it works successfully. These jumper cables are, of course, just for testing. I will eventually make proper battery cables. Lights are on. Go ahead and turn the inverter on. I heard my phone vibrate. 1 hour 36 until fully charged. So that's fast charging. So that, oh yeah, that's getting full power. Let's go, yeah, go ahead and plug that fridge in. There you go. Nice! Fridge is now working. How many watts we drawing? 0. Okay. This fridge is a really nice fridge because it's super low power. I think it's like max 80 watts. Just to prove to you that's on, I can turn the light on in here. Boom, look at that. That was really easy, and look at how much more legit this is than the last time we did it when we just like wrapped it in electrical tape and stuff like that. This is good. This is really good. All the 120 volt wiring for the house plugs is done. Everything works as you guys saw. It's pretty sweet. It's really sweet. I'm super happy. This is super legit too. Everything is safe. They're all in PVC boxes, so we're not gonna get electrocuted some random time while we're driving down the road, which was a worry with the last setup. The correct gauge wiring has finally arrived, so now we can make the battery cables that connect the batteries to the 2 posts. It's super important to use big enough wiring for this stuff because there's a lot of amperage going through these wires, and if you don't use the big enough wire, it can melt and fires and shorts and all sorts of bad things. This electrical system on full blast is capable of running 300 amps through these wires. They're big wires. These are 1/0 AWG wires, which are good for about 300 amps. So let's make these and then install some other stuff, and electrical system's good. So now, the lights in here should work, and they do. So, the batteries are now permanently connected to the RV. So this is the smart isolator. Pretty much what this does, when the bus is running, it connects the circuit connecting the bus batteries to the RV batteries, so the RV's batteries are charged by the alternator. The awesome part about choosing this location for the electrical system is that there are pre-drilled holes in the chassis for the hoses for the heater, but we don't have the heater here, so now there's holes that we can run the battery cables through. Alright, so the battery isolator is installed. This power cable is running to the positive on the bus battery. That power cable is running to the positive on the RV battery, and then both these batteries are grounded to the chassis. So that's how it completes the circuit. As you can tell, the light is off, which is a good sign. When we turn the bus on, it should pop on and start charging the RV battery. So let's go ahead and test that. Alright, starting in 3, 2, 1. No fires. We don't really know if the isolator is working or not because the bus batteries never got the 13.2 volts. We were driving around for, I don't know, maybe 20 minutes. I probably should have gone a manual battery isolator instead of a smart one that senses voltage. I'm assuming the bus batteries will never get to 13.2 volts unless we're cruising on the highway for like a while where it's higher in the revs and when it's charging faster. So I'll probably have to get a new one that, you know, completes the circuit when the ignition's on rather when there's a certain voltage in the batteries. Kind of a fail, but still kind of a success. When we get the new isolator, we can just take out this one and put the new one in. All the wiring is ran, which is the harder part, so. Right, so the last thing this electrical system needs is a charger converter, which is right here. So this right here is a 35 amp charger converter. It is a 3-stage smart charger, so as soon as the batteries reach full voltage, it goes into a trickle charge so it doesn't overload the batteries. In order to install it, all we have to do is bolt it down and connect a power and ground. All these things are really easy to install, just bolt it down, power and ground. That's it, some fuses too. Go ahead and mount that there. So the shiny red cable is the ground to the chassis. I know it's not supposed to be red, but the only cable I had left was red. And I ain't about to spend another $60 on really big gauge wire just so I can, you know, have the right color. The normal red cable is the positive, the black cable is the negative to the batteries. The plug for the charger is like right under here and it's got a little cap on it. So we can take the cap off, put an extension cord in there. It's connected. See the little green light? 14.8 volts. Perfect. So that thing is working mint. We'll go ahead and unplug it, connect the battery cables, and then we're done. Everything is connected. 13.82, 83, 84. Ah, the fan's kicking on there. That's cool. All right, so that bad boy is working really well. Eventually it should switch to the normal mode and keep it around 13.6. We're gonna let it do its thing. It's smart, it's automated. I'm just gonna pretend like I don't know what's going on, which I don't know what's going on, so. Don't blow up, please. This system started out as a perfectly organized system, and now it's not very organized. But, I mean, we've got the two batteries wired in parallel. Those batteries are wired to these two terminals. Then we've got a power and ground for the 12-volt fuse box. We've got a power and ground for the converter. We have a power and ground for the amplifier. Then we have a ground going from the battery to the chassis. We have a power coming from the bus batteries up to right here, which is this guy right there. Then we have a ground going to the charger. We have a power and ground coming off the charger to this battery. And that's it. So that is the electrical system. This right here is going to allow us to run an AC unit, a heater. It's going to allow us to run appliances, to play music, to charge phones, and do pretty much everything. Hopefully you guys did enjoy watching this video. If you did, please make sure to give it a like. Please make sure to subscribe. And if you want, share the video. I really appreciate it. If you didn't enjoy the video, please make sure to give it a dislike and leave a comment in the comment section below. Tell me how I can improve. Also, let me know if you guys have any thoughts, concerns. I did a decent amount of research about this stuff and I'm pretty sure everything is correct. But if you see something that's very dangerous, let me know. Next video, we'll probably be installing the solar panels. So get excited for that. I'll see you then. Peace out, guys. Have a great day.